Are you ready to learn to get rid of stress in your life? To learn how to deal with the emotional turmoil that causes strokes, heart attacks, bad health, and even weight gain? Life-changing habits for work, family, and everyone you deal with start here with Andrew Wittman. It's time for Get Warrior Tough on WCCP. 105.5 The Roar. Here's Andrew Wittman.
It is time to Get Warrior Tough, the most monumental hour in media anywhere. We are leadership and mental toughness coaches Andrew Wittman and the Dutch Coleman. What's up, Dutch?
What's happening?
You, man, I tell you what, you are a good-looking man.
Thank you.
Hey, if you guys want to join us on the conversation on Twitter, use the hashtag #GetWarriorTough. You can find Dutch at the Dutch Coleman, which his Twitter feed has been blowing up this past week. And then I'm at Warrior Tough PhD, at Warrior Tough PhD. Go to the website, check us out at GetWarriorTough.com. Fill in your name and email in the Start Now box and get all of our newest, latest, greatest stuff. Tons of free content. Go to the Facebook page and like us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can get there by Googling leadership speaker Andrew Wittman. And you can also download the Android or Apple app. All right, Dutch, we had so much stuff going on this weekend. It has been a great football weekend for me. How about you?
Oh, yeah, man. It's been wonderful. Obviously, the teams that I follow mostly and closely both won, and my Redskins won. And so, I had a pretty good weekend.
Okay, that's good. Now, going through the week, it's we got to gear up. We got Georgia Tech, right, coming into town. I ain't too worried, but we need to stay on top of that, though, right? I mean, we can't be like, yeah, it's just they've been blowing it. We got it, right? I mean, you don't want to be a trap.
Yeah. I hate using words like trap because I think either you're better than the team or not. That. But the reality is that team, you don't have to say trap. You can just look at that team. That team's coming off 3 losses, and you can say, well, they're coming off 3 losses because they're bad. But we know they have the talent. We know they have the abilities to do what they do. So you still got to watch out for them.
Right, and regression towards back to the mean. Right, they're due for a win. You know.
yeah, and like again, they have a very good football coach, very good program, very good system. People don't like it when you have to play against it, but it's been very effective. Their coach is the best at it. The way he does things and the way his players do things under his command. From a standpoint of that offense, it's the best.
Yeah, no, no one should take it lightly. That's for sure. You don't want to just be like, "Oh, we got this." So, hey, before we get cranking here, I got a couple stuff. I got a couple things. Now, listen, I have this really great friend of mine. His name is Jennings Lyon, and his darling wife Nikki. They have 2 daughters, Lakin and Addison. Now, Jennings and I've been. He's been on my inner phalanx circle for a long time. My inner phalanx. He's saying shoulder to shoulder with me for a number of years. I mean, we go way back. And so his daughters. He raises his kids like I raise mine. You know what I mean? We're in the kind of that warrior mindset, that mentally tough culture. So this thing popped up on Nikki's Facebook that their daughter Lakin wrote like a couple years ago when she was moving into a new school. She was in 1st grade at the time, and I read it and I thought I got to put this on I got to just put this on the show because this is a 1st grader's mindset. And listen to this. She titled it "I Am Brave" by Lakin Lyon. Being brave is hard work, but I do my best. I move to a new school and I calm myself down when I get nervous. I tell myself to tell the truth when I've done something wrong. I dream wonderful dreams and I think good thoughts. I swam in the 5 foot in the swimming pool even though I didn't want to. I am fearless and I am truthful.
Wow.
Now, this is the mental toughness and the emotional intelligence. I mean, what a great mindset. You know, so I wanted to read that. I mean, here we go. This is a 1st grader. And so parents, listen, if you're not passing that down to your kids, you should be. But you can't give anybody anything that you don't have. If you don't have it, you can't give it to them.
Yeah, there you go.
So, go ahead, Dutch.
That's how I was going to say. That's it in a nutshell. And if you hadn't said it, I was going to say that. Shame on you if you don't have that to give to them. Because kids, it'd be great if all kids were born with that. But we got to give them that. That's what we're here for.
Right, and so, and of course, parents, if you don't have it, you know how you can give it to them by joining the phalanx. Dutch and I are here to help. I mean, that's our weekly coaching calls, right? We're starting on December the 1st, and again, like spots are filling up. We told you this the last 2 weeks. Now people are signing up, so it is very limited at this point. So jump in, call the office at 864-977-1443, secure your slot, get your subscription to the phalanx. For the first 25, when you subscribe to the Phalanx, you're going to get personal and private coaching on your written vision and, even more importantly, your identity statement. And Dutch and I, we normally charge $500 an hour for this type of high-level coaching. We will coach you and walk you through it. We're going to get you the Mental Toughness 101 6-hour audio and the workbook. And you're going to be a plank holder of the Phalanx, which is a big deal in the Spec Ops community. And we'll give you a certificate that says you're a charter member, man, that you're a plank holder, and you're one of the original group of the Phalanx. And what we're trying to do is just create a really tight-knit community. That's what the Phalanx is, that will stand shoulder to shoulder and help each other. I like to say love and provoke one another to good works and to a higher performance. That's really what it's all about, being fitly joined and staying in the fight with each other, not leaving and cutting and running.
Well, that's what true community is. I mean, you just described true community. And we say community all the time. We use that word all the time. But we're talking about actually the real community, every aspect of it. We're talking about applying that in a real world sense, not just talking it, but physically, mentally, just applying that on every level of our lives, and it's real.
That's absolutely right, Dutch. And so it is the community, and I got, like you said, we talk about it's almost an overused word. That's why I kind of like that's why we like to call it the Phalanx, because there's that more. I mean, I will not leave you in the fight. Listen, when I was in law enforcement, this is how I would decide if somebody was a good partner or not on the street. Would they leave me in a fight? If they're going to cut and run as soon as the shooting starts or the knives come out and it gets bad, that's not a good partner. And so that's what Dutch and I, we will never leave you in a fight. Whatever the fight in life is, if it's, you're trying to, get promoted, and listen, here's a person that I got another letter this week, Dutch, from one of our clients. And her name is Crystal. I've been working with her for a while, for about 6 months. She's out in the Midwest, and she said, Andrew, I got it. I got the job. I'm an officer of the bank now. Woohoo! I'm scared to death of failing, but I am more afraid of not trying. This transition is hitting in the busiest time of my mom duties, with 2 boys actively in football, and basketball practice starts this coming weekend too. Lots of running around. But if I can make it through the next 6 months and be successful, I can make it through anything. You're one of my professional supporters. Thank you so much for that. I have lots of your advice posted on my desk. Here are some of the ones that I keep close to me right now. And here are she's got some of my quotes. You cannot fail. You can only learn and grow. Be effective, not just efficient. And be the CEO of you. Body, mind, and emotions must all be on board working together. And so, hey, shout out to Crystal, man. And again, this stuff works, and here's just some real-life examples of it. And then one more, Dutch, this is a really big deal for me personally. And the listeners, you guys know earlier on in June, and if you didn't catch that show, you can get the podcast or go back to the YouTube videos. It was one of the first shows we did back in June. I think it was called What's Your Target or Destination Unknown, where I interviewed my oldest son, Drew Wittman. And Drew, he's a senior year at Riverside High School here in Greer, South Carolina. He's got his vision written out. And part of that vision was that he was going to the Citadel. Now, he'd been saying he wanted to go to the Citadel since 6th grade, man. And so he got his acceptance certificate this week. So he's accepted. The Warrior culture will continue another generation. So I wanted to get a shout out to him. He's going down for his pre-knob visit in a couple weeks. And then I want to get him back on the show. And then, Dutch, you and I can kind of take some, asking some questions about, his experience with the pre-knob visit and just to see how focused this kid is at 17. And he's got his written vision. And he's been he and Jack and Michaela, my little girl, they all have a written vision. They all know what they want to do and where they're going. But they're kind of like the guinea pigs for all my mental toughness coaching, because I've been working it out on them for the last 17 years, man.
Well, obviously it's been working. Keep up the good work. Congrats to Drew. Again, man, that's results right there. That's not it's more than just a kid getting accepted to a school. That's a culmination of many years of work, hard work by both of you, your wife, you, their siblings, because siblings have a piece of the whole stake.
Right.
And so, I mean, that is amazing, man. Goodness gracious, man. There's so many things I could say about that, man. But you can sum it up in the fact that everything you said and everything you're doing with respect to your family is coming together, and that's one example of it. And thanks to the Warrior culture.
Right,
well.
and I got to give him props, man. His mom and I did not do the application. We didn't hound him about it. It was his. He owned it. He took ownership. Now, he did ask me a couple guidance questions, like, why he might have got stuck. He came to me, but he was running the whole thing from A to Z. He paid for the application fee and all that. I mean, and so again, as parents, and this is kind of what Dutch and I will do in the Phalanx too. We have to let you struggle, but be your safety net. That's the only way that you take ownership and pride in the fact that you accomplish something is because you do it. Now, Dutch and I, we will not leave you, but that's what coaches do, man. We can't play the game for you. We can help you. We can guide you. We can give you the emotional support. We can give you a good strategy. We can help you walk through that strategy and help you make course corrections, but you got to do the work. And that's really what it is, isn't it, Dutch? I mean, they got to do the work.
You got to walk out the process. Again, practice and athletics, using that as such a wonderful example. We're gonna be there for you throughout the week. That coaching every day, that building you up, that getting you ready for that world, whatever that world is, whatever that vision entails. We're gonna be getting you, and then you're gonna have to get out there and perform. Now, in the meantime, we know our performers need coaching during the performance as well. There are timeouts in the game. There are half times. There's end of the quarters. We're there during those times. So we're around you. We don't just throw you out in the game and then we leave and go to a different game. We're there with you while you're in it. So again, like as Andrew said, we can't physically perform it for you, but we can be in your ear as much as you want. Everything we said and do is going to be with you. We won't leave you, and we're gonna enjoy all your victories. We're going to help recover from any defeats that you have. We're going to go back to the drawing board with you. We're going to drop a new game plan, a better game plan. Everything that you can think of, we're going to be there.
Yeah, it's awesome. And again, here's something like what Crystal's doing. I mean, we've emailed back and forth. I really haven't seen her for back in March or February or something. And then she takes these things that I said to her and she wrote them down and she keeps them, and then she emails me. I'm like on her mentor team. So she emails me, about once a month with questions or whatever. And and so that, and this is the beauty of coaching is if you're not doing anything, Dutch and I can't coach you if you're not in the game. We can't, there's no feedback we can give you if you're not doing something. See, she was going for another job. She was stretching herself. She's trying to figure out how to be a mom with two boys actively in football and in basketball, and their careers are starting to take off as kids, and we all know if you got kids in athletics, that's a huge time commitment for the parents as well as the kids. So I mean, it's just, so here she is and she's asking for coaching corrections and we're making them. I mean, it's just so awesome. All right, so Dutch, we got a full packed show, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Your Twitter feed has been blowing up all week about the Clemson Notre Dame game and the play calling at the end, and we almost lost it, blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about that. I want to ask you a question about your Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles. Really, I want to ask you about Chip Kelly. And then I know I'm a huge Alabama fan, so I want to give you time to talk about Alabama because I think you're going to say good stuff about them because it was a really good week for Alabama. So this is all the stuff we got coming up after the break. And so I want you guys just to hang out, buckle up, and also I'm going to give you the number for the office one more time so you can call to secure your spot with the Phalanx. Get your subscription. It's 864-977-1443. 864-977-1443. And if you own a business or you're an executive of a smaller firm or a medium-sized firm and you guys, man, we got budget limitations, but you know that your people or at least your leaders need what we have, this mental toughness, this emotional intelligence, this critical thinking, this leadership team building package, the Phalanx is a great option for small, medium-sized businesses. So you guys get the same world-class elite warrior training for you and your people at a greatly reduced cost. And Dutch and I have talked about this before, but just the healthcare savings on people reducing their stress level is huge. Not to mention the increased productivity and the increased sales as your emotional intelligence levels go up, and your people get along with each other and start communicating better. And so it's just it's an amazing deal. Just call the office, talk to us. We will walk you through it. There's no obligation here, man, but you're only hurting yourself if you don't have the conversation with us. So, again, it's 864-977-1443, and we will be right back after this break.
Do you want to be warrior tough? Do you want your employees to be warrior tough too, with abilities to handle difficult situations as a well-oiled machine? Andrew Wittman has been teaching leadership, discipline, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and mental toughness for 30 years. His seminars build strong working relationships, high-performance teams, effective communication in crisis, and conflict management skills. He'll change the way you look at yourself, your company, your job, your life. He is dynamic, engaging, and stimulating in his presentation, and he can help you build and develop the leadership skills and high-performance skills needed for your team. He'll give you the tools that will not only increase the positive product output in business, but in your personal life as well. To get complete information on how Andrew can help you, call 864-977-1772 or log on to GetWarriorTough.com.